Amigos, mil disculpas que sucedió algo con la transmisión anterior. Se nos cayó el link, pero no fue por el internet, sino el PlayStation se actualizó por un update que tenía Alan Wake. Déjenme, solo vamos a agregar a la lista de reproducción el videito que acabamos de pasar. Vamos a añadirlo a la de Alan Wake, amigos. Ahí estamos. Vamos a continuar. ¡Ay, perros! Ahorita me los voy a cagar. Uy, amigos.
The night had been one desperate situation after another. I was exhausted, and my body felt as though it had been chewed up, and the flashlight was heavy in my hand, and each pull of the trigger sent a painful shock up my arm. But I was finally out of the woods, and things were looking up. That's when I heard the chainsaw.
Así es, amigos, somos muy buenos en esto. ¿Para qué chingados servía el termo de té, de café, amigos? Ustedes sabrán, ustedes que son, todos lo saben. Espérense. Una razón científica hay de por qué llegamos hasta acá. Esto es un checkpoint. Aunque ve que
It was clear that it had just fallen here. but it was very old and obviously hadn't flown in decades. Looking at it sent a shiver down my spine.
Se volvió a Lara Croft esta madre. Ay, puta, ¿qué pasó? Y me queda claro que lo que hice fue lo correcto. Turun, tun, 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 tun. Aquí queda la canción You Fucking Darkness. Bueno, sigamos con la live. Oh, puta. Y Angola. Aquí. Ay, quieto perro. Vamos a ver qué encontramos acá. De todo un poco, amigos. Esa madre sí fue suerte. Wow. Eso sí fue mucha suerte, amigos. Hmm. Grung. Aquí encontramos más de algo aquí. ¡Ah, boca! No, aquí no hay ni verga. Y con la chingada hay que subir ahí. Hay que subir arriba, amigos. ¿Ustedes qué opinan? ¿Que nos partimos el hocico o no lo partimos? ¿Ustedes qué opinan, amigos? Bueno, pues. Ah. O sea, si le hace daño esta madre a este cuate, mira vos. Ah, qué interesante.
The logging site was a mess. The modular office had been pushed off the cliff. Deputy Thornton climbed up from the wreckage excited, breathing hard from the exertion. Nobody there. It's weird. Don't you think that's weird? Bored, Mulligan let out a mighty snort. Hell, it's always weird, Thornton. Just a question of sorting out what kind of weird it is this time around.
What goes around comes around. Ah, pues los cabrón. Ya vamos a ponernos a leer ese libro en orden, muchachos, porque así puta. Leerlo desordenado si no es lo mío. Amigos. Muy bien, listo, suba. Puta, aquí se encontraron
When Barry
bastantes
saw the
scripts.
darkness attack the visitor center, it made him a believer. The men Al said he'd shot, they hadn't been just locals on crank. Somehow, when Barry saw the darkness attack the visitor center, it made him a believer. The men Al said he'd shot, they hadn't been just locals on crank. Somehow the world had changed, like the channel had been switched without warning. You think you're watching a sitcom, and you're really watching a horror show. When the birds started attacking the cabin, Barry wasn't surprised, just terrified.
Aquí está. Estas estructuras de aquí son aguantadoras, muchachos. The darkness wears her face. ¿Así? Ahí te pues, perro. ¡Oh, la puta! Qué buen putazo me pegó este cuate, amigos. ¿Qué hay otro,
Shadows stirred and the wind picked up as I ran through the forest. I felt the dark presence turning its gaze toward me. Then the moonlight was blotted out by dark shadows that raced violently across the ground, moving too swiftly to be natural. Darkness gathered between the trees and melted again to reveal the Taken. No natural path had brought them here.
Muy bien, amigos, ya va agarrando forma esta madre. Lo que sí les puedo decir es que este juego es lo de Kaftiano. A huevo que sí. Puta, ahora para salir de acá, evidente. Porque este cuate está en un pinche trip. Listo, amigos. Puta, esos cuates estaban yucas. Uy.
Is a hazardous occupation.
Puta madre. A la madre. Ah, mierda. Sigámosle, amigos.
Logging is a hazardous occupation.
Vénganse pues. ¡Ay, perro! Uf, estuvo muy cerca, amigos. ¿Aló yo?
Barry?
Ow! The porch is covered with birds. They've got old Hitchcock on me.
Stay out of sight. I'm on my way. Don't open the door.
What am I, crazy?
Stay hidden. I'll be there soon. Just make sure you keep the lights on.
Ay, este un oso ahí se cabe. Puta, hay otro oso ahí. Yo voy a ver por ti, chiqui baby.
I still had to reach Barry at the cabin, but at least I was out of the woods.
Put.
I'd have to get the car from the locked garage. It would get me back to Barry faster, and the headlights were a welcome bonus.
Primero de chingados estará en las llaves para abrir esta madre. Puro balazo, papá.
The FBI agent's command froze me in place. I considered surrender. It was all falling apart anyway. I could give in, let someone else deal with it, but it felt all wrong. Call it instinct, his posture, the way he held the gun. He was no friend. Shots ringing in my ears, I leaped for the hole in the fence and stumbled into the darkness beyond. I had to find the key to the garage.
Sí, mano, puta, ¿qué crees que estoy buscando vos? ¿Te esperas, cabrón?
A story is not a machine that does what you tell it. A story is a beast with a life of its own. You can create it, shape it, but as the story grows, it starts wanting things of its own. Change one thing and you set off a chain reaction of events that spreads through the whole thing. The characters have to be true to themselves. The events need to follow a logic that fits the story. A single flaw and the magic is gone. The story dies. Alice dies.
¿Así? ¿Así?
You can
¡Joder, puta!
hide yourself.
Hoy no, perro. Ahora me agarras tan de sorpresa. Tum, 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 tum. De aquí para abajo me tengo que agarrar a mí. Ay. Fuck. ¡Ay, hijo de puta! ¡A la puta! Oh, amigos, eso estuvo intenso. Bueno, por lo menos se quitó esa musiquita fea de persecución.
The flare gun was probably the best weapon I could imagine against the dark things I was facing.
Uy. ¿De dónde chingados dispara ese cuate esa su babosada? Llevamos casi 2 horas jugando, amigos. ¿Aló, yo?
It was the kidnapper.
You son of a bitch! Where's my wife?
Enough horseplay, Wake. You deliver the manuscript, and you can have your woman back. Simple as that.
I don't... Listen. Listen. I'm gonna need time to finish it. I still need to write the ending. I need... a week.
Not done?
I need a week.
2 days. The old Bright Falls coal mine is nearby. You can find it easy, city boy. The main building, there at noon. You bring the manuscript, you'll get your wife. Not, well, get me?
Yes, I get you.
Dos días, perro. No más.
Barry had talked about birds over the phone.
Puta madre. puta.
Hey, Al. I'm sorry for thinking you were having a psychotic episode, man.
I sent Barry to the town to ask around about a man fitting the kidnapper's description. He'd go through the archives of the local paper. Perhaps he could learn something. Anything about the island and the cabin that had disappeared. The man wanted a manuscript. I had to try to write him one to get Alice back.
Empieza a escribir, pues, perro.
For me, the supernatural had always been nothing but a metaphor for the human psyche, a tool to use in writing fiction. Now, it was happening for real, and I couldn't put a single word on paper.
Barry Wheeler speaking.
This is Rose.
Rose?
I found Mr. Wake's pages.
Oh, you sweet, brilliant girl.
Could you and Mr. Wake come get them? I live in the trailer park outside the town.
We'll be there in less than an hour.
I know.
See you soon.
Have a great day. Hope you come back soon. Welcome to the old
dear diner.
Good girl.
¡Oh! Se acabó el segundo capítulo, amigos.
Pretty please, can you tell me where I am? You, won't you say something? I need to get my bearings. I'm lost, and the shadows keep on changing. And I'm haunted by the lies that I have loved and actions I have hated. I'm haunted by the lies that wove the web inside my haunted
Así es, amigos.
On Alan Wake. Alice has been kidnapped.
Alan, please help me.
Alice?
You'll do exactly what I say if you ever want to see White.
I can't tell anyone except my agent Barry.
Damn it, Barry, they'll kill her.
You're my best friend, and I'm worried that you're not right in the head.
The ransom is a manuscript I supposedly wrote that's coming true before my eyes.
It happened just the way it was on that page. So
Dork.
I have found only a few scattered pages.
I want the entire manuscript.
The deadline is in 2 days.
I found Mr. Wake's pages.
Good girl.
Dun, 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 dun,
How
dun,
did she get her
dun.
hands on the manuscript anyway?
I don't know. She's resourceful. I told you were too hard on her. Listen, I found out all sorts of interesting stuff while I was digging around.
Yeah.
Mr. Wake, it's Sheriff Breaker. We have an FBI agent here, Agent Nightingale.
FBI.
He's anxious to see you. You'd better come to the station.
Okay, I'll be right over, Sheriff. Let's make this quick, huh?
Help you folks? Name's Randolph. I'm the manager.
We're looking for Rose. Works as a waitress down at the diner.
Rose, sure. Nice girl. Who wants to know?
I'm Alan Wake.
The writer, huh? I heard on the radio you were visiting. Well, I'll show you her trailer. That Rose, she's a nice girl. Always pays her rent on time.
As I was saying, Al, I found all sorts of weird stuff from the local newspaper's archives. This place is crazy. Disappearances, mysterious deaths, urban legends come true, and get this, most of this stuff takes place around Cauldron Lake.
Well, you ain't wrong, mister. The Indians thought the lake was a doorway to the underworld. I'm the God-fearing type myself. I don't hold with that sort of thing.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, there was an island there owned by a guy called Thomas Zane. Now, some of the articles I found about him make him out to be a famous writer, but I ran a bunch of searches, couldn't find a single thing he wrote. Zane was heavily into diving, so much so that the place came to be called Diver's Isle. But the volcano under the lake erupted in 1970, and Zane went down with the island.
Ok, amigos. Bueno, pues amigos,
I'll take you to Rose's trailer.
se llegó el momento de hacer una pausa en la casa digital. Vamos a transmitir un ratito en vivo en Instagram. Vamos a ver qué chingados vamos a jugar en Nintendo. Mientras ese momento llega, por favor amigos, les deseo un buen bonito sabadito. Hagan lo que tengan que chingados que hacer, porque yo tengo que hacer otras cuestiones de interés también para la casa digital. Recuerden amigos, probablemente mañana vamos a tener un podcast donde vamos a hablar un poquito de la casa digital. Así es amigos, nos vemos. Hasta pronto. Mañana vamos a tener un podcast donde vamos a hablar un poquito de la casa digital.